So I've been doing these videos of what a 90s player would look like in today's game. And everybody keeps asking, when are you going to do Michael Jordan? And I never wanted to do Michael Jordan because to me, the answer is really simple. Michael Jordan would have been fucking Michael Jordan in today's game. You know, for all the people who are like, oh, he just would have been a modern DeMar DeRozan, or he wouldn't have been that good in today's game because of the three-point shooting, the spacing, whatever the excuses are. You guys don't know ball and you guys don't know Michael Jordan. That same work ethic that Michael Jordan used to become one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA, to become one of the best post-up players in the NBA, you know, that same work ethic, he would have taken that and applied it to his three-point shooting and applied it to adapting to today's game. So he would have been a devastating shooter in today's game because he had that work ethic. And the spacing, I mean, Michael Jordan would have feasted in today's game with the spacing and with how limited the fives have become. You got to keep in mind, when MJ first came into the NBA, you still had Moses Malone, you still had Kareem, you still had Jack Sikma, you had these big-ass bodies in the paint clogging up space, and he still found a way to get to the rim and finish at the rim. Then in the early 90s, you got Patrick Ewing, you got Hakeem Olajuwon in his prime, Robert Parrish, like all these dudes, MJ's still finishing over them. Even later in his career, you got Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal. There were always centers when MJ played, and MJ always found a way to get to the hoop and finish at the rim. So you telling me in today's game where the center isn't as prevalent, where there's not these big defensive bodies, that MJ would have struggled somehow? No way. And keep in mind, too, when MJ played, man, it was a lot harder to score on the perimeter because dudes were allowed to hand check. In today's game where there's no hand checking and the defense just isn't at that physical level, MJ would have feasted, man. MJ would be averaging like 15 free throws a game. So for anybody who says Michael Jordan would have been a lesser version of himself in today's game, you're just underestimating the greatness that is Michael Jordan. And this doesn't just go for MJ. I thoroughly believe that if you take the top 3 players from any era, that they were just a special level of basketball genius, that they would have found a way to adapt to the way the game is played today. So MJ would have been MJ, man. We're going to keep these videos going. If you haven't seen the other ones, we've done Dennis Rodman, Ron Harper, Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen. Check